Hey you guys, thank you for the song. I'm not gonna be on here long. I want to review some of the comments. Y'all, I'm still under the weather. Forgive me for my voice. Um, y'all, I've been trying not, ever feel like a cold is going on? Man, when I tell you I was trying to take zinc, vitamins, but then I was working at the same time and the weather got warm and I didn't wrap up and I was outside in that line last week, did not wrapped up. So, excuse me. Excuse me. So today I'm gonna take the day off and just fix me some soup, lay down. Now this is a time where I need to be married. This is a time I need somebody to help me. Help me. Oh, welcome to Burgundy Blue Commentary. Where we feel terrible this morning. I hope all is well with you and yours. But guess what? We still alive. If you can support the channel, we have Cash App, and we're doing a $20 goal this week. The Cash App link is in the corner or at the bottom or Zelle. Thank you so much. You don't have to give us anything, but that's just what we're doing. You could be here for real. So if you guys didn't know, I'm a Thornton Township resident and grew up in Dolton, and I can literally tell y'all I would make so much money if I was just like catching these people, seeing Keith Freeman somewhere, seeing Keith Price at the food pantry, seeing Tiffany at the nail shop, really seeing Tiffany at the nail shop. Because what people don't tell you is this: all those people that hate Tiffany, when they see her, they don't never look her in the eye. I noticed that. When all that stuff happened with me, y'all, I was so devastated. Like, not devastated that it happened to me. I was devastated because I was going through a terrible time in my life. Like, when we grew up, if you a 70s kid like I am, we grew up, or 80s kid basically, you say sticks and stones. So talking about people is not the issue. Lemongrass, thank you. Oh, Scott, I need to. Thank you, thank you. Now I'm gonna try to because I can't leave the house. I can't leave the house today. I'm just done. So hopefully things work out. I'm gonna write that down. Vietnamese beefo. Thank you, because I really can't cook nothing. So thanks for y'all support, you guys. So I did a video. Oh, so what I was saying was, all those people you see yelling at Tiffany, when they see her, they don't say nothing. When they see me, they don't say nothing. They don't say nothing to me. They got to be in a gang. I just want y'all to know that they got to be in a gang, and they just got to have a support of bullies. So Um, I'm gonna keep on covering what I can. If you guys notice, I don't go to the board meetings anymore. Because why would I split the audience between Reality Check TV Chicago, Critical Smoker, myself, and whoever else feel like blogging that week? I'm not gonna do that. And on top of that, if I go, I'm there as a resident to get the knowledge because this, guess what? If Jason the mayor, I'm here. If Tiffany the mayor, I'm here. If Napoleon the township supervisor, I'm here. If Tiffany the township supervisor, I'm here. You guys, I've got to mention this. It's a rumor. I don't deal well with. I like to. I trust the person that told me this for sure. But I like to fact check my sources. But we got this thing where we're saying timestamp or it happened. It's a rumor going around that Stephanie wants Jerry Jones OC. And in order, allegedly, now this is the rumor I'm hearing behind the meeting is not till when, the 16th of December. Um, the rumor is because everything's gridlocked, they want to appoint Stephanie as Jerry Jones, take that trustee seat. So I'm like, wow, that's very interesting because I remember interviewing her and I said, hey, do you it's on timestamp, it happened, it's on my videos. Because one thing y'all know about Bird, I stay outside so I could get the people's point of view. Conscious is not a rumor. Hey, Gardens. Hello, everybody. Yeah, so they're saying that they're trying to push Stephanie Wiederman in the trustee seat. Now, the problem I have with this is I don't have a problem with Stephanie at all. But the problem I have with this is even though y'all hate Tiffany, you don't see it's the same thing. It's probably going to be even worse because all the people with seats, the PR person, Nikita, Stephanie, Chris Gonzalez, who else we got up there? Kiana Belcher. Who else we got over there with the dots? The people that's with the dots. Jason House, all them. They're all going to be part of the Democrats of Thornton Township. And they're all going to be in these lead positions that Stubbs said on camera she does not want to run. Now, she lost her seat in Dolton, and y'all put on the ballot for Thornton Township. Whether you like Tiffany or not, if you're for the people, you're for the people, right? So why are all these people that's anti-Tiffany or that lost a job or Tiffany didn't promise them a job, now they're all, it's almost like it is chess. It's a game of chess. It really is. Love chess, by the way. I just want y'all to keep your eye on that. Now, that's the rumor that I heard, or like Conscious said, it's not a rumor, but I've been getting, y'all hit my inbox with everything, and I've been getting it. Now, how do you feel about that? Everybody just placing everybody else. So this is my thing. If Stephanie is not a rubber step, if Jerry was a rubber step for Tiffany, what do you think Stephanie would be? And I promise you, it's no disrespect to Stephanie, but she's going to be cornered to make decisions instead of who we would like there. I think it should be, again, the people should vote. If that's true, the people should have a vote. I don't know what people don't understand. The people should have a vote. Connect for it, yes. Don't make me laugh, Scott. I can't breathe. Gardner said, if I know Stephanie, she probably doesn't want it, but they will nominate her anyway. Yeah. She seems like I spoke with Stephanie a couple of times. I spoke with her privately too. She seems like a solid person. You know what I like about Stephanie? She was really one of the people that was blowing the whistle, if you will. The only thing I didn't agree with was when they said she was fired. And I was like, well, I don't really know any chief of staff, any mayor that, or any supervisor or any president that takes on the former chief of staff. That's just me saying that. But she also was fair and said Tiffany offered her a job, but then that job, I believe, would have took a job from somebody else. So she didn't take the job, right? Am I following that correctly? I think in the beginning, it was easy street. And if people don't like Tiffany, all you had to do was watch her fall on her face alone. She didn't need the extra push. You know what I mean? If Tiffany was doing all you had to do, it didn't have to be the extra stories, the extra salaciousness. I feel like Stephanie was telling us what she saw on those credit cards, giving us paper. And then I think some people behind the scenes felt like it wasn't good enough. And they started adding titties and drugs and rock and roll, if that makes sense. It just got too out of hand. I felt like Stephanie was someone that just gave us the facts. And then it went to titties. Good morning, don't have your kids in the car. Okay, so so I put that video up and I tagged Cafe of Knowledge, not as a battle. It was nothing like that. And you guys, shout out to y'all that tell me about the channel, because a lot of channels I don't watch because it's overkill, so I can't see them all. So she was a channel I didn't watch. So you guys y'all was emailing me and put me on game on the interview, and I still haven't finished the whole thing, but shout out to them. And cute nails. You know, we talk fashion over here. Cafe of Knowledge, cute nails. But she had a collar. And the collar, now I want you guys, everybody sit down. You got your pencils? You got your pencils? And your paper. This is school. Okay. The collar said verbatim, this is what I saw. So let me tell you something about me. I was not inside. So I cannot confirm or deny what the caller saw. We're following each other. This is what the caller saw. Now, I know what I saw on Reality Check TV, Chicago. Shout out to Rico. I know what I saw from there. And Tiffany, and I told y'all from the get-go, when I got there, Tiffany was already inside. Kamal was already inside. Now, this is my question for the people that hate Tiffany so much. SD video too. On Don't Trustees page. I thought Tiffany was late. Now y'all saying Tiffany in the whole time. Which one is it? That'd be my only thing about the whole thing. I thought y'all said Tiffany didn't make it on time. That was the day one. Tiffany didn't make it on time, right? Am I lying? Am I lying? Didn't y'all say Tiffany didn't make it in on time? She was late picking people up and all that stuff. Okay. All right. So, again, from Cafe of Knowledge interview, this is what the young lady who called in saw. That was her point of view. And she was telling Cafe of Knowledge, hey, this is what I saw. So then what I did, I'm saying, this is what I saw. You now have two different point of views. There's no reason for name calling. I'm a lesbian. All this crazy. Nothing wrong with lesbian. Sorry, y'all. Not saying it like that. All that because I'm showing you on video what I saw. And half of y'all don't even live here. Half of y'all don't even live here. Don't have a dog in this fight. And that's going to be the problem. That's going to be the problem in the long run because Napoleon, if he win, he's not going to want nobody covering him. If Jason win, they ain't going to want nobody covering Jason. They not going to want nobody looking at what Jason drive and all that stuff. Y'all ain't going to want that. My question is, it's not about, I mean, my statement is, it's not about Napoleon or Tiffany. The people were left outside. So the lady on the phone could have very well saw people leaving because, sorry guys, you know why? 706, 707 is when they started coming out, right? She was in there probably, this is my theory. The dinner started at 5. So in her, what she saw, she probably like, well, everybody came in at 8 and sat down, so it was nobody else left out there. However, they had a dinner at 5 or 5:30, and it was still people outside. Now, my whole thing, and I don't know why this is going to be a problem with our community because we can't come together. You guys hit the like button because your girl up here trying to make it. I wonder how radio people do it because I could never. I just call it sick. So this is the problem. This is the problem. Point blank, period. I'm a different person. I think a different way. So, how do you feel about the people being locked out? It's the exact same thing that Tiffany did. If you feel like Tiffany got beat at her own game, I understand that. But where does that leave the residents? You see what I'm saying? We're still in a bad way. So now it just changed it to the cool kids was let in. Remember, you see Vivian, Mary, Avant, you see Stubbs, you see Nate Fields, you see all the cool kids that was locked out protesting for Tiffany. Not one of them came to the door and said, no, let these people in to vote. It just switched places, if I'm making sense. It's just now they're inside and the other people outside. Before the other people was outside, like I saw Don Core Parker out there. I saw what's the guy that's Robert Hunt? I saw him out there. We saw Quigley out there, and what's this guy name? Mike, whatever, connect the dots. All of them was stuck outside. Now, usually they come through the back door all comfy and cozy, right? Now they stuck outside. All it did was switch positions. And the residents are the ones hurting. That's all I'm saying. That's all it did. It was just like, hey, now you're cool with this group. You get to stand inside. You're not locked out no more. But did you see any of those people say, no, it's township people that need to be able to come in here and vote? And we got on camera some of those people that filed independent. Nate, what you was doing in there saying aye? You can't be in there saying aye. You are a registered independent for the supervisor position. You can't be in there doing that. That was one person that could have came in. You see what I'm saying? So that's the great part about that's the great part about having video, so you guys can make the decision. Okay, now my final thoughts. Even if everybody outside would have gotten in, Tiffany would not have won. You know why? It was more people inside for Napoleon than was outside. That's my humble opinion. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. It was more people outside. I mean, inside, not outside. If when Tiffany got to that floor, and said, I nominate myself. And when Napoleon was like, you have not been recognized, that was unnecessary. If he would have just let her, how do you guys think? Like I said, the for the people I know, because you know y'all get a little rowdy. The link is here. If Napoleon would have said, okay, you nominate yourself, fine. Okay, hear me out. When she nominated herself, if Napoleon would have let that vote count, that nomination count, Tiffany would have lost then. And you know what else we would have found out? Right then and there, she would have been able to read her slate. Then it would be clear that she did not have an assessor. Okay. They had 3 to 4 different ways to disqualify Tiffany. Reading the slate. If you said she didn't have a full slate, that was on the bylaws, right? And then the next thing would have been, after reading the slate, it said that you could not be held presently in office within the last 12 months. She would have lost there. It was about 2 or 3 different, it didn't by the name, the votes. It would have been by the votes. Tiffany could have lost 2 to 3 times over, but you did not let the people be heard. That's what I'm saying. It was unfair. She was overtalked. They almost moved the sergeant at arms. I think it should have been fair. I mean, the sergeant at arms almost removed her. My whole thing is, I think it should have been fair. That's all I'm saying. It should have been fair. If she would have said in that room, Napoleon, I nominate myself, and he would have said, okay, we got 2 nominees, him and her. She might have challenged that the people were still outside, but that would have been it. Did she have an assessor at that time? All we saw was a slate on paper. We don't know. Did she come up with one before she drove up? We don't know. So it was so many ways to disqualify Tiffany Henyard instead of trying to just gang up on her and bully her. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. So again, I'm going to play the video and I want y'all to see it for yourself, what I saw. I just think it did not have to be a bully tactic. It was so many other ways she would have been disqualified right then, and the taxpayers would not have to go through a court battle right now. Oh, okay, we got Gardis Watts. Let me let him up. Hey, Gardis, how you doing?
Hey, Berg, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you today?
I'm okay.
Okay, that's good. Okay,
So, unfortunately, politics in our reality is a very dirty game, and I guess the thing is that we can't, when you're talking about winning in this game of politics, we can't like really tell folks how we should win. I mean, even though it may be unethical, um, like when the Bulls was winning championships, you know, we, we couldn't tell Michael Jordan, oh, you can't be dunking on folks like that. No, they're trying to win the ball game,
Mm.
and that's the whole thing. No, I didn't agree with the ethics of it, um, because of the fact that there were some people left outside, because of it. Um, However, I think I stand on this. I can't feel sorry for Tiffany because she's done some very unethical things as well. Um, but at the same time, if Tiffany was in Napoleon's place, she would have did the same thing to Napoleon. Uh, and also, too, I probably would have had a different perspective of it if it was somebody else running that wasn't, part of a nationwide campaign or anything like that, or just say like a regular person was running and they were done the same way. I probably would have had a different perspective of it. But unfortunately, like I said, you know, when you do dirt to people like that, and don't get me wrong, I haven't changed my perspective on everybody who is complicit in actually her being the supervisor and the mayor of Dolton. Like, I haven't forgotten that.
Mm.
I haven't forgotten that because many of the people we call the heroes in this whole narrative are the same ones who have elevated her to these two positions, which is the thing that I'm wondering, is everybody gonna forget that, once they get rid of Tiffany? Because that was my question months ago. Like, one of the things I asked is like, okay, what are we going to do after Tiffany? Because I think for me, Tiffany has been exposed for over a year now. And I was thinking this last year, I was like, yeah, not gonna be the supervisor again. And most likely she's not going to be the reelected for Dolton mayor. If we would have just sat back and just watched the whole narrative play out, Tiffany could have fell on her face by herself. But I think many of the people are doing extra, doing too much, and I don't care if we could, whoever disagrees with me on this, we could debate this. But at the same time, if you would have just sat back and just watch her mismanage a lot of things. And I know you brought up Stephanie Wiedemann, because Stephanie was one of the first people to expose a lot of the mismanagement.
Yeah.
And if you would have just let that play out, yeah, maybe there might have been an arrest by now. But at the same time, people doing too much. And this is basically kind of giving her new life.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best way that this could have been possibly done is that if you wouldn't give her so much attention and just let the authorities handle it the way they handle it, yeah, we probably would they probably would have had a new mayor supervisor by now. But unfortunately, everybody wants to make this their main story on certain pages, because one of the things that, and we talked about this too, what happens when Tiffany is gone? Are these YouTube pages still going to be up? Are these media outlets? What's the story after this? Are they going to be still covering Dolton/Thornton Township once Tiffany is gone? Or are we going to ignore the corruption that was being ignored when past mayors and supervisors have been, mismanaging their municipalities for quite some time? So Yeah, that's the question I've actually been asking for months now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that too many people were in on the background, like making that kind of hindered the investigation. I think it could have been done by now if it wasn't so messy. And because we were getting at first, we were getting solid numbers, solid credit card statements, and then everything just turned into ghost stories or ducktales after that. It just turned left. Um I my theory is no one's gonna want to cover this after Tiffany, because Tiffany is the show. She's the show.
Yeah, and that's problematic because the problem is that while we focus the spotlight on Tiffany, how are we holding those people that are accountable, those who brought her in? You know, I just cringe at the fact that they're propping up Trustee Chris Gonzalez. I'm sorry, Chris Gonzalez, the guy who nominated her and voted for her, the guy who let her in to be the supervisor of Thornton Township. You know, I mean, from my vantage point, I would literally, if he gets reelected as a trustee, I'm going for abolishing the townships in Illinois.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you vote for him, the guy who's responsible, you know what? And all this hype about giving certain people grace because they made a mistake. No, you can't make that type of mistake. You cannot make that type of mistake. That's a mistake politically that's unforgivable. I mean, you can call it a mistake all you want to, but I don't think that was a mistake at all. I think that was an intentional pick, and like I said, I will stand on this. I think it was an intentional pick by him and the board that was there to see if they can get a supervisor that they can control. And the problem was that it backfired. It backfired on them because there was a nefarious intent to control the particular supervisor instead of trying to pick the best person who can lead the township. So that right there, you know, nobody wants to hold him accountable for that. Nobody wants to hold the trustees in Dolton accountable for supporting Tiffany. And I don't care what people say, you know, people, you know, they always, some of these people who are, you know, anti-Tiffany people, well, she lied to us. Well, she may have told you a lie, but at the same time, she didn't lie to who she was. She was always like that. She was always like that. You know, you lied to yourself. That's what you did. And now, you know, she's obtained executive powers in that particular municipality, and she's doing all this and doing all that. You knew exactly who she was. And people want to scapegoat their, well, I wasn't asking for no favors and anything like. Yes you was. And we will argue, we can argue all day about that. But when people start asking specific personal favors, you know, to get certain people's support, that you ride on dangerous level, because once that person gets in the office, there's no guarantee that they're going to give you that particular favor. So, you know, for me, I don't use the old adage of vote your conscience. I always say vote your politics. Vote your politics. Because the thing is that, is this person good for the masses of people in whatever particular government that they're being elected to? Because the problem is that I think too many people look at where they live at or where they vote at from a narrow point of view. And it only benefits them. But at the same time, are we really overall helping, the village, city, state, nation, country, whatever, we're voting for? Are we helping the overall aspect of, of the people? And like I said, it doesn't have to just be from your vantage point. Now you have to include yourself into this whole particular mess, but at the same time, when that person is out of office, where are you going to go, for whatever favors that you need? Because the next person that comes in, may not give you that particular favor.
Yeah.
So I always say, vote your politics. Vote your politics. And looking at the political situation in Dolton, from a neighboring standpoint, because I live in South Holland and we're right next to Dolton. There is a system. There is a long system of corruption that has been going on in Dolton. And the problem is that too many people are pointing to. I mean, obviously, Tiffany has been part of the problem. That is not arguable. But at the same time, she is not the problem. She is not the problem alone. She is part of the problem, but she's not the sole issue of Dolton. Getting rid of her is not going to fix what's the problem in Dolton.
Absolutely. And I think it might be getting even worse, because at first Tiffany was the only I agree with the mayor also being a supervisor is a conflict of interest. I believe that too. But it might be even worse, because now we're going to have trustees that are buddy with the trustees in Dolton. You know what I mean? Am I making sense? Like the trustees that's going to be possibly elected at Thornton Township, they're buddy with the trustees of Dolton. And that's going to be even a huger problem, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you're recycling old politicians. And I'm hoping this election turnout, because I think you forwarded me the article on the Lansing Journal about who was the guy? The name is Justin Sawyer, who was supporting Tiffany.
Yes. And there are voices of the Lansing Journal.
Yes, and shout out to the Lansing Journal, because they do give residents a chance to voice their opinions. So I really appreciate them putting out people who support Tiffany, don't support Tiffany, or somebody that's actually neutral, that they would give that opportunity to have their voices on a particular media that most people in the Southland subscribe to. But I think one of the responses to his article, which was actually very well written, I people always have this misconception of Tiffany supporters being uneducated, and trust me when I say this, there's some anti-Tiffany supporters who couldn't write a complete sentence if to save their life, but I'm not going to go into that. But one of the responses was talking about how Tiffany not being on the ballot is going to affect the township participation in the election, which I think he has a good case, because of the fact that there are a lot of anti-Tiffany supporters in the township. And the thing is that now that they know that she's off the ballot, who's gonna care about the election? Because they kind of figured well, there's one
person gonna win. Yeah, why I gotta go vote? Right?
Why do I have to go vote?
Now, I didn't think about that.
Looking at Dolton, now, what's interesting is Dolton probably is going to have over 20% participation in this election. However, I kind of think there is an unknown, because it's always the non-voters or the people who are registered to vote, who decide to vote in this election. How are they going to respond to this whole thing? Because I'm not a resident, but I live next to Dolton, and I work in Dolton because I work for the school district, and I'm interested on how those people are going to respond because I get a mixed reaction to Tiffany. I know some of the anti-Tiffany supporters would tell you, well, everybody's waiting for the election time, but there are quite a few people that I've talked to that are very much staunch Tiffany supporters.
Yeah, I always tell people, Gardis, Tiffany has the streets. She has the people on the ground. She doesn't have the people that's in the chat rooms or on the Dolton politics page. She has real. Hold on, I got a disruptor in here. Hold on one second, Gardis. I'm sorry. This is my opinion, not Gardis. Gemini, don't. Mm-mm. You getting out of here? Get out of here. You getting out of Gemini, you at the crossroads. Hold on, baby. Hold on, I got you right here. You at the crossroads. All right, there you go. All right, keep going, Gardis. I'm sorry, I have to. I'm sending everybody to the crossroads when they come over here. Okay.
Well, that I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like I can't tell when I talk to Dolton residents. I'm talking about Dolton residents, people who actually live in Dolton.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really tell if there is a big groundswell to get rid of Tiffany or not. That's a huge question. Now, outside of Dolton, there's a lot of anti-Tiffany people out there. A lot of them. The problem is that they can't vote in Dolton.
That's the problem. And I remember one time I said, well, I got I put something, I was saying something, I said, but I can vote here. And someone went public and said, but you only one vote. Okay, it's a lot of ones in here for Tiffany. And I think it's people right to be for Tiffany if that's what you want to do. And I think it's your right to be for Jason if you want to do. But I think that Tiffany got a lot, like you can't really tell from the outside because people are scared. I was at that rally she had, and I was telling you guys, it was a grown man, like, don't put me on camera. I don't want nobody to know I'm here supporting Tiffany. He was getting his affidavit in because he was outside as well. And it's because of the bullying and stuff like that. And I'm like, you don't want nobody, you grown, what they gonna do? And now I see. So a lot of stuff we see online, it's going to be different than what we'll see at the polls.
Yeah, I think so. I think so as well. And let me make this clear. I'm not saying that this is going to be a Tiffany win. I'm just saying I don't know.
You were clear. You were clear. It's very confusing. It's very confusing because she is really on the ground. And then Miss Cassandra Jordan, because it's the primary, so it's either gonna be Tiffany or Jason. And then we got Miss Cassandra coming in as independent if everything goes well. It's gonna be even more confusing because she's also someone that is reaching the people on the ground instead of reaching people online to be mean. So it's going to be interesting.
And I know people who I know that's in this whole, get rid of Tiffany or else thing will tell me, well, I'm at the meetings, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I know the same people you do. Mm-hmm. So my thing is this, it's like I said, there are several people, and it's shocking the number of people that I know who I didn't even know live in Dolton, who would basically tell me like, Gardis, I don't know who I'm gonna vote for. And I actually kind of like preference that. So I was like, hey, you've seen all the news about Tiffany, right? And some of them, I'm just saying this, from the experience that I have, and these are people who are not out in the front, not, these are people who are not there supporting or bashing Tiffany. These are people who are in the shadows because, like I said, the last Dolton election, you had less than a 20% turnout. And how many people live in Dolton? About 17 to 20,000 people.
Yeah.
And I would estimate to say, 80% of them or 70% of them are registered voters. So the problem is that there's a lot of unknown factors out there. Now, if I had a vote in Dolton, I would not vote for Tiffany. That's one. Let me make that clear. However, I would be very reluctant. I would be very reluctant to vote for the opposition because the problem is that these are the same people who brought her in. Yeah. And I can't absolve them from that. I really can't. So from my vantage point, it has to be somebody who is different from and actually unattached to any of the previous administrations that have ran Dolton. Because if you look at what happened with Riley Rogers, there was a huge campaign to get rid of Riley Rogers. But look at the participation of that particular election. You didn't have a lot of people participating in an election, and this is the thing that the Jason House supporters would say, that Tiffany in that primary only won by over 100 votes to a guy who was very unpopular at the time, and she was the rising star during that time. So now you're going to tell me that it's going to be different? I don't know. I don't know. Tiffany's very unpopular right now with the media. I mean, that's a given. But what are the voters and residents in Dolton? The ones who don't come out to meetings, the ones who are afraid to express their support, whether they be Tiffany or Jason House people that don't want to step out and say anything. What are they going to do? Are they going to vote very privately, or are they going to stay home? Because unfortunately, like I said, if I was a Dolton resident, I don't know. I mean, right now, and I know people would hate me saying this, but I would stay home. I would stay home. But I'm not a Dolton resident, so I don't have a fight in this. I mean, I do have some interest in this because of the fact that I like I said, I work in Dolton, but it's the system. It's the political system that Dolton has right now. That's the mess. It's not really the people that are in there, because they're products of that particular system. All of them are products of that particular system. So whether you vote Tiffany out, bring Jason in, or recycle another or rehash another politician, nothing's going to change until you get people in there who are unattached to the previous administration and are serious about, I would say, rebuilding Dolton. Because that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to rebuild Dolton. Dolton has been a mess before Tiffany's gotten there. And
I believe so,
and don't get me wrong, she hasn't progressed it, if at all, during her administration. So there has to be rebuilding that's going to have to happen in Dolton. Now, as far as the township, the turn that this township is going to take, now that we're going to get a new supervisor, and And I would say at least hopefully a new board, because you can't, you like I said, you got to hold these people accountable for where the township has gone. And if you can't, then you know what? Like I said, I'll be for abolishing townships. I'll be for it. So that's just my spiel on that.
Well, Gardis, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you so much.
All righty.
All right, you enjoy your day.
All right, you too.
So I should have let Gardis answer that. You guys were saying, what about abstaining? What does that do? I forgot about that part. Oh, I lost him. What does abstaining do? So I want to play this part. This is when Tiffany was nominated. And thank you again, Gardis. I agree with 95% of what he's saying for sure. But I'm a Dolton resident, so I like me staying home is a problem. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing. I get it though. I get it. I know who I'm gonna vote for. I'm stuck because I was really rooting on one person, but then they kind of disappointed me this week. So I was like, I don't know about that. All right, let's look at when she was appointed. And remember, this was 7 minutes. They had 90 days to appoint someone. 7 minutes before midnight, all of a sudden, Chris brings up Tiffany. And watch the high fives. So we got the high fives to Chris. I want you to look at Jerry Jones' wink. Look at this wink he gives her. Look, did y'all see it? Did you see the wink he gives her? Look up at the Lancet Journal and look at Jerry Jones' wink. He gives her a wink because he was like the third one to say "I," and I think that's important to look at. This is very, very, very important. And this same meeting, Napoleon Harris was nominated. Now that's Nate Fields. Everybody all happy, you know what I mean? That same meeting, Napoleon Harris' name was brought up and he didn't even get a second. Okay. So just want to share that with you guys because it is important that we remember the history. Now, no matter what happens in the outcome of this, we in danger, girl. Molly, we in danger, girl. And that's all I have about it. But back to the Cafe of Knowledge interview. I just wanted to make sure y'all knew I wasn't being the caller. I was saying, no, this is what she said she saw. Here go what I saw with the visuals as well. This is exactly what I saw. This is what happened. And here's your visual. So now we got the comments going up, which comments are great. It boosts your channel. It gets you more dough. It gets you more likes. It gets you more people over here. So that's fine. So I could literally do a video saying 10 reasons I hate Tiffany Henyard and probably make $1,000 for the month. Honestly, make $1,000 on that one video. If I do 10 reasons I hate Tiffany Henyard, that's it. So let's look at, so my channel is not for that. It's for sharing with you guys what's going on both sides. So I hope y'all understand. So let's listen. So I was outside, and that's her point of view. This is my point of view. Okay, that's why we got, my little broke phone over here.
Those were the people who came from inside, mixed with whoever she said was out there. No one out there freezing in a wheelchair with no legs, things like that.
So I don't know about people missing legs. I didn't know about that part. But it was people out there in wheelchairs. It was people with oxygen tanks. And look, they wasn't looking like oxygen tanks and their life was over. It's this one lady, she came to the press release too. She had an oxygen tank, but she was fabulous, honey. Fabulous. She had her hat, her coat. She was fabulous. Yes, it was people with oxygen tanks out there. It was people in wheelchairs. It was people with canes. It was seniors out there. And the seniors told me they had been out there since 5:30 because the text message came out apparently for them to be there at 5:30. However, when you got there at 5:30, it was a party. So if you weren't on the list, you could not get in. Now, no matter how you feel about Tiffany, that is bias because they're not letting, first of all, how you get on the list, who's the one to control the list, and who do you have to be a support of to get on the list? You see what I'm saying? I think it would have been fair is if the party ended at 7 or 6:30 or 7, and they would have told everybody, okay, everyone that's going to vote, that's eligible to vote, step out. We're going to register you, and then we're going to have a vote. That's why I felt that, and you guys hit the like button. Sorry, I'm sick. My voice is a little off. That's why I felt like it was going to go till midnight because I thought it was going to be like the last meeting we had. I thought it was going to be like a town hall thing. I didn't think that it was going to be whoever was inside. You see what I'm saying? So with this young lady was already inside. Tiffany, when I arrived, I told you guys, Tiffany, Kamal, and her security guard had already walked in. Now, how I know, I was in traffic. If you look at my video, the whole video is on my page. It was traffic, gridlock down. Even Melanie from the Lancet Journal was saying how she was stuck in traffic, and that's how she missed it too. It was traffic. I knew my way around Homewood, so I just parked at the library and I walked on my way down. That's how I got there fast. It was faster to walk than drive. Hey, reality check. Hello, everybody. Potato. Just helping me, Clark. Where you been? Potato, what's up, everybody? So I walked down. It was easier. You know, I knew how to park and walk on over. And people who weren't there, they probably was looking for a space at the event center to park, right? So when I got there, it was warming vans. Anybody could have gotten them warming vans, right? It was people in wheelchairs, and a lot of people was like, we've been out here since 5:30. They said they're gonna let us in at 6:30. It's 6:30. They still haven't let us in. Excuse me one more second, guys. So they was like, they still didn't let us in. You hear the church bells. Shout out to Conscious. Never even crossed my mind. It did. The clock striked 7. I was out there. So I'm just giving you the point of view when I was out there. So yes, it was people that could not get in. Now, which she may have, do I think she was over here intentionally telling a fib? No. What she may have seen was when she was leaving out, because once we heard the vote was done, people started to disperse. That might have been her point of view. I could be fair with that, but no, it was elderly. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a nursing home, but it was people of all ages and whatever. They was just outside. So let's listen to this interview. And we could not get in. My problem is I really don't see the problem with letting the people vote, because from what I saw, Napoleon, because of that party as well, he had a lot of people in there. He would have won. That's just my opinion. But now you to open the door up to all kind of foolishness. If y'all wandering around saying Tiffany didn't have an assessor, she had the right to prove she didn't have an assessor right then, right? Now we just saying that. So she has the right to fight in the court because nothing was done like the Republicans did. I'm sorry, I just had to say it.
In a wheelchair with no legs, things like that. Those people were never out there.
A clear wheelchair or electric device right there. I just wanted y'all to see. Right on the curb. I just wanted y'all to see these people. So we have to get to the front of that line. And what was so weird was when y'all hear my video, the car honking, I don't shove my camera in people's face. Officer Terry Young, that was him honking the car. And he just was saying hello because I'm a resident, right? So he just said hello. But if he saw anybody, he was asking people, even in the Tahoe, how do you need to get warm? If he saw any of those people outside, that's what he was doing. Do you need to get warm? Go sit in the van. Sit in this truck. Da, da, da. That's what he was doing because it was freezing, you guys. And this is a great question for Sam Jackson. Does she have a full slate? All we saw was the flyer that she had out, right, Sam? So I don't know. But I will say, if they would have let her be nominated, we would have known that night. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, it was room on the bleachers. Yes, it was. The township paid. The residents pay. And guess what? We're going to have to pay for this lawsuit, too. That's all I'm saying. It's like, I think the downfall of our situation is a lot of people, they're so mad at Tiffany, they can't see anything else. And I think you need to focus on the residents. Not Tiffany, not Napoleon, not Mary, not Chris. What the residents need.
Call me when you get home.
Her code is it's only 6:47. Let's see what we get going. We got CBS Chicago. Yeah. Trying to see what happens. Now, it was more than just those people. It was people on the sorry guys. It was people on the side in their cars. It was people holding spaces. It was a lot of more people because it was just so cold. Everyone could just stand out there for an hour or more. Okay. People to be pulling them like that, but whatever works. Whatever works. I don't know. He jerking a little bit. Everybody waiting. So something going on in there. What's going on? The media coming out. What's going on? They voted already? What? Can you tell me what happened?
Napoleon Harris just nominated himself, and it had somebody basically.
What about us out here?
They wouldn't let anybody in. See, Tiffany tried to get anybody in, they wouldn't let, and they just kept going on without.
So what happened? He's nominated?
Yeah.
And so nobody else did anybody nominate us? They did not let us in.
Wow. So it's over. It's over, you guys.
What?
It's over. It's over.
Oh,
It's over.
No. That was not right for them to do that.
Wow, it's over, you guys. We caught it live. You guys, it's over. What time is it? Somebody put the timestamp so it happened. Okay, you guys, sorry, I'm still under the weather, but I just wanted to show you my point of view. That's the thing about point of view. You guys sent me the interview from Cafe of Knowledge. I want to let you guys know what I got and what I got captured on video, even though my phone was cracked. So apologies for that. But yeah, we were outside. We did not have a voice. We did not have a vote. They let a handful of people in at a time or less. And you can hear, according to Conscious, which I didn't even think about. Sorry, guys. 7 o'clock, you could hear the church bells. So I was there. Yes, it was people in wheelchairs. Yes, it was people with oxygen masks on. Yes, it was people with canes outside. So I just want to let you know. Now, if you know me, if you're on my channel, you know I don't really shove my camera in people's faces, but I only can show you what I witnessed. So whether you see. So you see a clear guy standing there. I talked with him. Sorry, guys. I talked with him. He had a cane. I've been out here since 5:30. He had a cane. Just say it. I think that's Robert Hunt right there with the suede coat. I said a lot of people were out there. A lot of people were out there. Okay. let's go. It's another thing that you guys like to debate me on, and I like to be clear. It was if Napoleon nominated himself, because that was what was said. So I don't like to say the wrong thing. Now I did see the guy step up next to Tiffany and nominate Napoleon, but I felt like I heard Napoleon nominate. Let's go to Reality Check TV Chicago. Please follow Rico. Thank you for your hard work. Let's see. See if we can hear it here.
Next order of business is appointment. We shall appoint election judges. We shall appoint the election judges, and then our person will be removed from the car. The election judges are as follows: Kobe Chapman, Jason House, and Chief Judge Keon Gelson. The parliamentary for this evening is none other than Bert Olson. And our secretary is Casey Netta. We have our Sergeant Lawrence, General Bowman, and Assistant Sergeant Lawrence, Barry Steele.
No, Conscious, where? Where?
Next, we're going to open the floor for nomination.
Now, right there, he said we're going to open the floor for nominations. You have not been recognized. Let me go to Ed Steve's point of view too. Let's go there. So we're going to see, because I don't like to say the wrong thing. Okay, guys. I still want to know about these badges. I just want to hear. Okay, let's go.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No,
Mayor Jones, President City. Legislator Harris, Legislator Wilson for California.
It's from the Dolton Trustee page, guys.
9 seconds then. All in favor of the rules being adopted, say aye. The rules are adopted. Next order of business is the appointment. Quiet, please. Next order of business is the appointment. We shall appoint the election judges. We shall appoint the election judges. We shall appoint the election judges. The next outburst will be removed from the caucus. The election judges are as follows: Kobe Chapman, Jason House, and Chief Judge Keon Gelson. The parliamentary for this evening is none other than Bert Olson. And our secretary is Casey Netta. We have our Sergeant Barnes, General Bowman, and Assistant Sergeant Barnes, Perry Steele.
So if you're just tuning in, hit the like button. What we're trying to see is, because the comment was made, and I repeated it, Napoleon Harris nominated himself. So on this channel, we like to be clear, and we just want to see it hands on. I did see the guy walk next to Tiffany and nominate Napoleon Harris, but I could have sworn a couple of people said he nominated himself. So let's just look and see ourselves. We like to be factual.
Next, we're going to open the floor for nominations. We're going to open the floor. You have not been recognized.
So this part confuses me. Y'all let me know. What was the you have not been recognized for if the floor was open for nominations? You know what I mean? Because clearly this room is for Napoleon. It wouldn't have hurt it to let 50 more people in, even if they were 50 Tiffany supporters. That's my opinion on it. or restart the whole thing. These people were from the dinner, so they done ate good, sat there, they had a free meal. So now, now they didn't have to leave back out. They just here. So were you there for the party or was you there for the caucus? I think that's going to be the legal standpoint. Were you there for the party or were you there for the caucus? Because no caucus was supposed to start before 6 p.m. at all. That's in the law. That's in that. We went over that July 2024. We got it from the Lancet Journal. You were not supposed to start before 6. So if they were in there for the party, everyone should have left and recame in.
So have a seat. Washington has been recognized. All the people are outside. How you start a meeting without like people? Please receive Mr. Washington. Outside. Y'all didn't let the people start coming in at 6:30.
Okay, so I hear someone back there saying, I nominate Napoleon Harris. Okay.
I gotta let the people in. This is not right. Y'all have to. Get out.
She's saying, let the people choose. I think that's fair. Whether you like Tiffany or not, someone nominates Tiffany. That's it. You know what I mean?
No, let them in. Let them in, Napoleon. You started me. That's not right. That's what you did. To the front. Please repeat your motion, Mr. White. I make a motion to nominate the Napoleon Harris slate. Come on now, you know that's not right.
Okay, so this is true. Napoleon did not nominate himself. Someone stepped forward and they nominated the Napoleon Harris slate. So now we got that cleared up. I love to make sure we have clarity over here. All of this is insane. The whole thing. Now I'm seeing all three parts. I'm gonna tell you, the people yelling is a problem. There go a little baby. Remember, we were trying to find a little baby. We see one in the pink right there holding on to the bench. Now I see the kids. Remember, they would say there was kids in there. Saying okay, so this is the thing. Right over Tiffany head, there go a little baby. It's so difficult. He's nominating the Napoleon Harris slate. Tiffany should have let the nominations go through and pause. Then she should nominate herself and then bring up her point. Like they should have had chances to talk. If I'm making sense, it's overkill.
So they can be heard. You don't do right there. Let the people go down the line. Dictatorship. You don't do right at the township.
So Tiffany said, I nominate Tiffany Henry.
Out of here. She's out of here. She's out of here. She's out of here.
So,
Get out of here.
So that's what we were. I'm going to get off of here now, guys. Hit the like button. Pray for your girl. Thank you for your support. So there we have it. There we have it. So we can officially see what happened in real time. And then let's go to like some of the comments and stuff like that. You'd be really mad, but do you really care about the residents? Do you really care about the residents and what's really going on? You know what I mean? This is not a them versus them situation. It is, but it isn't. 4 years, they're going to be tied down. It's no different. If you want to say you live by the sword, you die by the sword. I saw that. No name. Thanks for that. I could say touche. I can say up. However, am I saying it was right when Tiffany did it? No. Is it right when Napoleon did it? No. I hope y'all understand where I'm coming from. Hit the like button, support the channel, listen to everyone's side of the story, see both sides of the story, just like we saw on my video. They said Napoleon Harris nominated himself. From my visual standpoint and what I saw from this video, I saw someone step up and nominate his slate. And yes, he could be a Napoleon Harris cousin or whatever. I get it. But I just wanted to see it for myself. So no, I didn't see Napoleon nominate himself. Someone stepped up and nominated him. So that would be the same thing with Tiffany. We got Tiffany up here. Tiffany should have been able to nominate, and they should have been able to say nay. Also, they have a case. Now it turned into a mountain turned into a molehill. Care about the people. Everyone's fighting for power. That's all this is, a fight for power. All right, you guys. Oh my God, we ended up being long-winded just on this.
Can I be recognized, Mayor?
You want to be long-winded? I'm just asking.
And for those that don't support the residents, and next year y'all gonna be sitting there looking like, oh, we sorry, y'all. We sorry, y'all.
You can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out.
Commentary blue, commentary, burgundy, commentary, commentary blue, commentary, comment, burgundy blue.